Go down, Diane from BA. This is the Rorschach Arctic Update from the 24th of December 2024. A quick summary of what's going down north of the Arctic Circle. The international sanctions being used to hamper Russia's Arctic energy industry broke new ground this week. So far, sanctions from EU and US have been focused on the Arctic LNG 2 project, Russia's project aiming to turn the country into the world's largest gas exporter. As a result, the project has yet to become fully operational. But on Monday the 16th, the EU's newest round of sanctions target Russia's oldest Arctic plant, the Yamal LNG, for the first time. While the EU has tried to block the expansion of Russia's energy industry, the Yamal plant was left alone because European nations are still buying natural gas from it. The inclusion of Yamal LNG in the EU's 15th round of sanctions shows that Europe is finally moving to reduce its reliance on Russian gas. The united front against Russia didn't stop there. On Monday the 16th, at a European Security Coalition meeting, Estonia, Denmark, Finland, Germany, Iceland, Latvia, Lithuania, the Netherlands, Poland, Norway, Sweden, and the UK released a joint statement announcing a coordinated effort to combat Russia's illegal shadow fleet. These vessels have been selling Russian oil worldwide under the guise of another nation's flag to avoid breaching sanctions. In the statement, all of the countries committed to requiring additional proof of legality from all suspected shadow vessels passing through their territory, and any vessels unable to comply will face serious legal consequences. Finland took further steps to increase national security on Thursday the 19th, when the Ministry of Defense announced the new boosted military defense budget. The new budget for 2025 is worth over $6.5 billion, an increase of over $500 million compared to 2024. It includes large investments to build NATO infrastructure near the Russian border, as Finland further aligns itself with European allies and away from Russia. National security requires more than just military investments, though. On Monday the 16th, Norwegian state mining company Norge Mining announced its acquisition of Skaland Graphite, Europe's largest producer of natural graphite, located in Norway's Arctic region. After China recently announced it is restricting the sale of critical minerals worldwide, the acquisition of domestic supplies of critical minerals has become essential in safeguarding both regional and national security. North America is taking similar steps. The Canadian and US Departments of Defense announced on Tuesday the 17th they are jointly funding a Yukon mine that contains one of the largest tungsten deposits on Earth. The funding consists of over $25 million, which will be allocated to the Mactung mine in the Canadian Arctic, owned by Fireweed Metals. China is the world's largest tungsten producer, but has been restricting sales of the material to countries it has diplomatic tensions with. Creating a safe regional supply is therefore considered critical to both the US and Canada, both of which currently rely heavily on overseas imports. The US Coast Guard is finally moving forward with plans for new heavy icebreakers. After years of delays, shipping news agency G-Captain reported on Friday the 20th that the Department of Homeland Security is expected next week to announce its final contract decision to begin construction on the country's first icebreaker in 50 years. The US currently operates only 2 heavy icebreakers, lagging behind Arctic nations like Russia, which has over 40 icebreakers. These ships are crucial for Arctic security, scientific research, and maintaining shipping routes as ice melts. The US is moving forward with its Arctic plans under a Trump government. On Monday the 16th, Alaskan Governor Mike Dunleavy publicly published his policy requests for the incoming President Trump. Dunleavy is asking him to reverse the widespread environmental and tribal protection put in place by President Biden. Dunleavy argues these policies harm Alaska's economy and energy independence. Trump had previously pledged to reauthorize drilling in these regions, setting the stage for potential environmental and legal battles as the Arctic faces growing scrutiny over resource development and climate concerns. Another new government taking shape in the Arctic is in Iceland. A month after the national election, a coalition government was revealed on Friday the 20th in a press conference held by the new Prime Minister, Kristen Frostadottir. This new government is breaking ground in a number of ways, with Frostadottir becoming the country's youngest leader ever at just 36 years old. She is the leader of the Social Democratic Party, and her coalition partners, Vitsreising and the People's Party, are also led by women. This marks the first time Iceland has had a completely female leadership and was dubbed by national media as the Valkyr government, named after the infamous female warriors of Norse legend. Over the sea to Greenland, where the Canadian anti-whaling activist Paul Watson was released from detention in Greenland on Tuesday the 17th, according to Greenland police. Watson had been held since July following an international arrest warrant issued by Japan, which accused him of breaking into a Japanese vessel during an Antarctic Ocean protest in 2010. Denmark's Justice Ministry, after reviewing Japan's extradition request, denied it on grounds that a fair sentence could not be assured. The decision led to Watson's immediate release, ending months of detention and marking a significant legal victory for the outspoken conservationist. Greenland's future is in its own hands after the Iceland's Prime Minister Mute Egdi released a statement on Monday the 23rd declaring that Greenland is not for sale and never will be. His comments came after the incoming US President Trump reiterated comments about gaining ownership and control of Greenland on Sunday the 22nd via his personal social network Truth Social. Rasmus Jarlov, the leader of Greenland's Parliament Defense Committee, called on the Danish government to assert his country's status as an autonomous nation which is not for sale. Moving over to Sweden, where the promise of investment in its northern region isn't without complication. On Friday the 20th, Swedish state broadcaster SVT reported that the Spanish chemical giant Fertiberia plans to invest millions of US dollars in a cutting-edge fertilizer factory in Sweden's Arctic capital, Luleå, for 2026. The plant promises a boost for the green energy sector with production powered by renewable hydrogen. However, environmental groups are concerned. The same company was linked to a severe ecological disaster in the Spanish town of Huelva, where in 2017 a fertilizer plant caused long-term pollution. Critics worry similar issues could emerge in Luleå, urging stringent oversight to ensure safety and environmental stability. Next, to a story that affects the whole Arctic region. A new study published on Monday the 16th in the journal Earth Future warns of increasing risks to Arctic coastal infrastructure due to thawing permafrost and accelerated erosion. Researchers from the University of Alaska Fairbanks and the Alfred Wegener Institute found that over 80% of Arctic coastline settlements and infrastructure are vulnerable to erosion by 2100 as warming temperatures destabilize frozen ground. The report highlights critical threats to roads, pipelines, and housing, with the most significant impacts expected in Alaska, Siberia, and northern Canada. Researchers urge immediate investment in adaptation measures to protect essential infrastructure and local communities as the region continues to warm. To see exactly which areas are most at risk, take a look at the link in the show notes. Predicting how warming might affect the Arctic could be done by looking to the past. A study from the Alfred Wegener Institute, published Thursday the 19th in Climate of the Past, examines the Arctic's geological record to predict how it might respond to modern warming. Researchers analyzed the last major warming event, 120,000 years ago, when the Arctic experienced ice-free summers and a surge in vegetation. Back then, temperatures soared over 10 degrees Celsius higher than today, and trees grew in the high Arctic, a scenario modern models predict, but unfolding far faster. While past warming spanned 10,000 years, today's changes are occurring within mere centuries, amplifying the risks to Arctic ecosystems and climate stability. And that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. We wanted to take the time to thank everyone for tuning in, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts with us. Your support means the world, and we are so grateful to be building this incredible community together. Wishing you a joyful, warm, and wonderful holiday season. Ayor!